Right. Thank you very much, Hans, for this really nice introduction. And, well, you know, when I give talks about the wheat initiative, I usually start by telling people how important wheat is, but I guess this is probably not useful here, so I will skip this bit. And I think in the past few days, we've heard a lot about the importance of wheat research, and also several speakers, just as Hans did before I started, emphasized the importance of partnership. The need for increased research coordination and collaboration between all research groups throughout the globe to address the challenges of increasing wheat production while taking into account the need for more sustainable production systems is what led me, together with a few other colleagues from different countries, different areas of the world, to set up the Wheat Initiative. So I'll try to describe to you today what the Wheat Initiative is and how it operates, and what also it has started to achieve since it was created. So the Wheat Initiative was officially created at the end of 2011 following endorsement from the G20 agricultural ministries of a proposal submitted and supported by a number of scientists and research organizations from different countries in the world. It was set up to provide a framework to establish strategic research priorities for wheat research globally, to identify synergies and facilitate collaborations at the international level, and also to foster communication between the research community, funders, and global policymakers. By doing so, the Wheat Initiative also aims to attract the widespread attention of all to the importance of wheat and of wheat research. So the Wheat Initiative aims to facilitate the development of a vibrant public-private wheat research community, sharing resources, capabilities, data, and ideas to improve wheatland productivity, quality, and sustainable production. To answer the challenges of wheat research internationally, the Wheat Initiative is developing a global strategic agenda for wheat research through the identification of priorities and challenges that are beyond the capabilities of single research groups or countries or companies, and which can be best addressed by international coordination and collaboration between researchers, but also research institutions and funding arrangements. The Wheat Initiative also wants to encourage efficient investment in wheat research based on the capabilities of and synergies between national and international programs. It really also wants to facilitate the development of new collaborative programs and coordinated actions, as well as resource and knowledge sharing across developing and developed countries in complement with existing activities, such as the wonderful job done already by CIMMYT and ICARDA. So, the Wheat Initiative has established already its different committees. So the two main committees are the Research Committee, in which set two representatives from each public and private members of the Wheat Initiative, and the Institutions Coordination Committee, with one high-level representative from either ministry, research organization, or funding agency from each member country. The Research Committee establishes the priorities for wheat research at the international level and brings them to the attention of the funders and policymakers that are represented in the Institutions Coordination Committee. They then have the opportunity to align their national agenda with these priorities, or, and we hope it's going to happen this way, they have also the opportunity to work together to find ways to launch transnational calls for proposals and support together important topics. So you can see here a few photos of the last Research Committee meeting that took place in Obregon last week, and also the Institution Coordination Committee working really hard in Paris last year. So to summarize, I think the specificity of the WHEAT initiative lies in the links it creates between the research community on the one hand and the funders and policy makers on the other hand. It strives to increase the understanding of the strategic orientations among funders, and we hope that improving knowledge among the funders on their current investments and future plans, also facilitating opportunities to work together, will allow a better use of existing funds, and also that it will enhance on the long term the funding of research. So I didn't mention that the WHEAT initiative also has established what we call expert working groups, and these are groups dedicated to specific research areas or topics to help the research committee and the institution coordination committee, of course, identifying the gaps and defining global strategic priorities. And you can see there a picture of an expert working group that has been established to set up a WHEAT information system, and that was at the first meeting last year. So in addition, you see in the middle also the scientific board. So the scientific board is elected by the research committee, and basically this is the driving force of the WHEAT initiative, and it liaises with the different committees. So these are this slide gives you an overview of the expert working groups that have been already established, that have been approved by the research committee, or that are under development, that needs to be set up. So in addition to providing recommendation on the strategic priorities for research, these expert working groups can also be established to work on specific projects. And I mentioned to you already the WHEAT information system expert working group that aims to develop a dedicated WHEAT information system, an information system dedicated to WHEAT data, sorry. They can also be set up to organize community networks when needed, such as the Durham Genomics and Breeding Expert Working Group. They also can be set up to facilitate new collaborations among researchers and to set the ground for new transnational research calls. So expert working groups are not restricted to the member of the WHEAT initiative, and I would really like to encourage all of you who wish to participate to apply in those already established expert working groups or to submit proposals to establish new additional relevant expert working groups. I also would like to mention that existing consortia and a network are very welcome to become expert working groups of the WHEAT initiative, which actually has been the case already for the International Wheat Genome Sequencing Consortium, who is recognized as a WHEAT initiative expert working group. So just a few initial outcomes of the WHEAT initiative expert working groups. As I mentioned to you already, the WHEAT information system expert working group has started to work, and it brings together experts from 7 countries and the CIMIT, experts in bioinformatics, and they have already started to work together to develop a single entry information system in which the scientists and most importantly the breeders will have access to all the data related to weights. I also mentioned to you the wheat genome sequence, and there has been a task force created to raise funds after the EWGS modified its strategy upon request of the Wheat Initiative ICC to to deliver the high-quality reference genome of wheat a lot quicker than they were getting there, basically. So last year, we also published a vision document, and we are now working to translate this vision document into a strategic research agenda for the wheat initiative that will document the different priority areas as identified by the Wheat Initiative Research Committee and provided on this slide. So a number of international initiatives are already tackling some elements of the strategic research agenda. All of these priorities are fairly probably obvious to all of you. I would like to mention here, for instance, the BGRI, which is a very inspiring model for the wheat initiative in the way that it has brought together the global community to fight stem rust. I could also mention the EWGS. I just showed you that it was an already established consortium that agreed to modify its sequencing strategy after the request of the Wheat Initiative. There is, of course, the Wheat CRP, which covers most of the topics identified as priorities by the Wheat Initiative, with a focus on developing countries. And I would also like to mention the International Wheat Yield Partnership that will be explained to you in the next talk, and that will contribute to deliver an important part of the first priority area of the Wheat Initiative strategic research agenda, increasing yield potential. So obviously, the Wheat Initiative doesn't want to compete with these consortia, these programs, or these international initiatives, but wishes to have them as partners and building on and with their expertise. So what is true for international initiatives is also true for national programs. There has been a renewed interest from different countries for wheat research, which is very good, but some of them also are doing somehow the same sort of things. And this is also one of the reasons why we decided that it was a good time to set up an international initiative to coordinate all research. And I would like to try to explain to you here how these ongoing national and international research programs relate to and can participate into the Wheat Initiative, and also, of course, how can they benefit from it. So the Wheat Initiative, as an enabling, coordinating, and advocacy platform, the Wheat Initiative does not execute research projects, and scientists from ongoing research programs can bring their expertise to expert working groups, share their knowledge and expertise, and contribute to global capacity building. In return, the Wheat Initiative, as an enabling platform, will provide, hopefully, opportunities to get together with other research groups from all over the world and attract the attention of funders to their priorities. I would like to take as an example the Wheat CRP. So the Wheat CRP is an alliance for wheat research targeted at developing countries. It is organized in 5 flagship research projects and is funded by a number of philanthropic and aid organizations, public and private. By being members of the Wheat Initiative, CIMMYT and ICARDA bring to the Wheat Initiative their expertise in the different areas of research covered by the Wheat CRP, together with their long history and expertise in knowledge sharing and capacity building in developing countries. I hope the Wheat Initiative will provide them opportunities to interact with research groups from different countries in the developed world, but I also believe, and I think it is really important, that it will also benefit the research groups from developing countries to be exposed to some of the issues that CIMMYT and ICARDA are tackling in less developed regions of the world. So to try to summarize what the Wheat Initiative is and what it isn't, it is a science-led initiative providing a mechanism for the wheat research community to identify gaps and to define and update research priorities. It is an information platform for institutions to establish investment priorities and align their national agenda, or take this opportunity to work together and launch transnational calls for proposals. And the budget of the Wheat Initiative, I think this is important because there has been some confusion in the past. It's based on a small membership fees the Wheat Initiative requests from its members, and it covers only coordination activities. It is by no means, this budget, large enough to fund any research program, which explained also why the WHEAT initiative is not at all a research program. Lastly, I would like to emphasize the fact that the WHEAT initiative doesn't want to compete with existing national or international activities, but on the contrary, would very much work with them to be more efficient globally. So the WHEAT initiative wants to help ensure more efficient delivery to the end users, which are the farmers, of course, but also the industry and the consumer. The WHEAT initiative landscape, its a research landscape, is quite complex. So many different actors contribute to the advancement of wheat research throughout the world, being investors or funders, being research organizations, national or international programs, or organizations specializing in the delivery of research outcomes, both in the public and the private sector. These organizations play different roles. There is quite a lot of interactions between them, or at least between some of them. By bringing together all actors involved in wheat research at the international level, the WHEAT initiative hopes to facilitate synergies and avoid duplication of efforts, to raise the profile of wheat for the benefit of all, and help ensure more efficient delivery of research outcomes. So I really believe that the success of the WHEAT initiative relies on the engagement of the global wheat research community. It is therefore very important that all the countries and companies interested in wheat improvement participate and contribute to the development of this global research coordination platform. You can see on this slide that the WHEAT initiative, since its inception at the end of 2011, has obtained the support of 15 countries, CIMMYT and ICARDA, as well as from 9 private companies. And we're really happy to have all these countries and companies on board. And but we would be even more happy if we had new members, especially from Africa, which is not blue at all at the moment on this map. And we heard so much about Africa in the past few days and in the previous session that I think it would be very good that African countries were members of the WHEAT initiative. So I suppose that's probably all I wanted to tell you. If you'd like to have more information on the WHEAT initiative or would like to see your organization come on board, please have a look at our website. This is its address, or contact us at the address shown on the slide. And also, if you're still there after at the last session, then come and see me and we could talk about it. Thank you very much for your attention.